Microsoft wants to move Windows to the cloud. Recently, because of the FTC versus Microsoft hearing, we got a look at an internal Microsoft presentation that discusses Windows 365, which is a version of the OS that could be streamed to pretty much any device. It's also already available, but only for commercial customers. Obviously, this makes a lot of sense for Microsoft because then they could lock their users in another subscription model, just like you can lock yourself into this channel by following this channel, which would be great for this channel. A cloud-based Windows would be pretty convenient as well because at school or work or anywhere you could just immediately load up your own Windows. Obviously, it wouldn't really work for most parts of the world because next to having a pretty good internet connection, you'd also need a Microsoft server to be pretty close by for lower latency. Let me know if you would be interested in such a version of Windows and why. Welcome back to the channel. So obviously this is something that we could have been speculating on for the past few years because it just really makes a lot of sense for Microsoft. Instead of just selling you a Windows license, that one time they get to lock you into a pretty expensive subscription model, which is pretty great for them. Not only that, but the way things are right now, when you buy a computer, unless you buy an official Microsoft device, so when you pretty much buy any computer, Microsoft isn't really getting any money. You're spending the money on the hardware and whichever company produced that hardware, like ASUS, for example, or MSI or whatever, they get the money. Whereas in this case, if you would be using a Microsoft cloud version of Windows, they would be providing you with the server infrastructure, they would be providing you with the hardware, and they would be making money off of you in this way as well, instead of letting it go to other companies that actually produce the hardware. Because why would Microsoft allow competition to take place? I mean, that is crazy. Now, this could be pretty scary because if a cloud version of Windows would be insanely successful, Microsoft at some point would probably just eliminate the standalone local version of Windows because they would just want to lock everyone into the cloud-based version. And the thing is, they have a monopoly. They don't really care. We see how they treat their users with Windows 11. They don't care. What are you going to do? Go to Mac or Linux? Microsoft doesn't care. They just do whatever they want. And then everyone else would basically have all of their personal files on somebody else's servers. And if you don't think that's a problem, that Microsoft is just a big tech company, they wouldn't do anything wrong. All of these Silicon Valley companies are just fantastic. Well, over the years, there's been a lot of stories with Apple, for instance, with their Apple geeks or what the heck ever they call them, with them just viewing the photos on the iPhones that people bring in for repair. Recently, I reported on how Tesla employees were literally spying on people while the cars were literally parked in the garages and they were just sending around these videos. I mean, just so crazy. Nothing ever gets done about this. And I mean, Windows 11 is spyware anyways. I've mentioned that many times. There's also a lot of great videos on YouTube that actually show you how many things Microsoft collects, how many things are being sent out. And where this could actually be pretty catastrophic is if you would then have your phone, your own computer with all of your files, your electric car that has cameras, you would have all of these things, your smart home even, everything would be spying on you. There would be information on you about literally everything in your life. And with the rise of AI, you could just task an AI model to just take in all of this data and just predict people. You could find the most effective ways of advertising to people. You could find such great ways to manipulate them to do whatever you want. So this really gives me some crazy, like, possible dystopian future vibes, something like out of Westworld, where there's basically like this gigantic AI that is taking in all of this data and just predicting which people are maybe going to be problems in the future, right? So it just sort of makes things happen to them. It sort of influences them with various events to just make sure, you know, they don't do anything stupid. They just basically carve out a path for them, and you know, that's it. Dystopian future, man. Now, luckily, of course, there is the one OS to save us all. Of course, there is Linux that you can jump to, which is actually gaining popularity, especially because people are actually a little bit getting concerned about their own data, and because of the insanely popular devices like the Steam Deck. I just hope that this sort of a cloud version of Windows doesn't become too good, because with all of these AI-powered services that are coming out, obviously, if the AI was running in like the same facility where Microsoft already has these servers where they are hosting these versions of Windows, AI could just work more effectively there just because there's less latency, right? And also, I'm sure this would be insanely convenient for a lot lot of people. I mean, you could just take your phone and just, yeah, that's my computer now. You could just go to work. Yep, this is my own computer. So while I think this is actually great, it's just another option for people to use, it would be pretty bad, in my opinion, if it just became completely mainstream so that everybody would just move purely to cloud, not use like their local machine and their cloud version for work or whatever, but just purely move to cloud. That I would not like that. So I would love to know your thoughts about this. What do you think? Would you use this? Personally, I would definitely be interested in using something like this, but not like straight up only using this. However, over here in Slovenia, I'm sure Microsoft is not going to be building any servers anytime soon. And I'm definitely one of those people that really likes to have their things very responsive. I have a 240 hertz monitor, and I need really great latency. I just need it. So let me know what you think, and also let me know if you've noticed that the audio has gotten a lot better. I have like sound treated my room pretty well, so now I finally got the nice rich audio that I wanted for a really long time. So you know, I'm pretty excited about that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully you have a nice day.